Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Rainey Anderson, and I am so excited to present another episode of Dishing with Diamonds. Before we get started and before I introduce our special guest, I must just let you know that the information that we share here is our personal experience. We are not making any health claims, and we are not making any financial claims. We are simply just sharing our journey through Plexus Worldwide. And now I have the absolute privilege and pleasure to introduce my friend and my sponsor's sponsor in Plexus, Jenn Hawkins. Hey, Jenn.
Hey, Rainey. Thanks so much for having me on today. I just adore you so much. And in our pre-conversation, just before you hit record, I fell in love with you a little bit more in your heart. So Rainey, Team Rainey, you guys are so blessed to have this woman as your leader. But I'm thankful to be on with you guys today.
Well, thanks so much for sharing your time with us, and happy Valentine's Day and happy new house. Y'all, Jenn just moved into her house. I even sent her a message saying, hey, are you still good? Because I know y'all just closed and I know you have to be moving, but so she's so special to share her time like this, especially in such a busy phase of her life. So, and here's her new office too. So aren't we lucky to be the first to have an interview with her?
Yeah, for sure. I've got boxes all around me. You're only seeing like two, but there's like stacks. But I love taking a break to chat with you guys. So this is fun.
So sweet. Well, maybe what we'll do in 6 months or even 9 months, a year, we'll come back and we'll visit your office once it's been decorated. And
yeah, I have some ideas. So you'll definitely have to come back and see.
Okay, awesome. I love it. Well, we're going to just get started. And so my first question for you is to describe your life before Plexus.
Okay. I was actually been thinking a lot about this because May will be my 5-year anniversary, and trying to think of a compliant post to describe what my life was 5 years ago. And I'm going to take you a little bit, 5 years ago. Sorry, I was thinking about, because I was thinking like I quit my job 7 months in, and so there was another period. But 5 years ago, before Plexus, my daughter turns 1 in April. And I was working full-time downtown Denver, and she was going to daycare. And so I was working super long hours. So I was getting up, leaving my house about 6:45 in the morning, and not even seeing Pepper. So I wasn't the one that got to see her. My husband would get her up and take her to daycare because he worked on an Air Force base. And so she went to the Air Force daycare. And so I never even got to see her in the morning. I mean, this is your first baby. And like, I didn't get to see her in the morning because she needed to sleep as long as she could. And then I'd get home and get her, be home just in time to get her, play with her for maybe 30 to 45 minutes, fed, bathed, into bed, was the extent of our day when I got to see her Monday through Friday. And so that really, the way life looked like before Plexus, and just from outside of that, motherhood, we were doing Financial Peace University on a major, tight budget. I don't know if you're familiar with Dave Ramsey and his envelope system, but I had an envelope of my allowance was $40 every 2 weeks to spend on things I wanted to spend it on. So if I wanted to go shopping for it would take me a month, because I would try to save $20 every week to go, and I have $80 to spend. I mean, that's the tightest budget we were on, because we were laser focused on getting out of debt, and debt that I actually brought into the marriage. So Cody, being so physically responsible, he was so committed to that. And he's the yin to my yang, and we had to figure things out. So this was before Plexus, and not knowing what the Lord had in store for us, that we were going to be able to be blessed in this way, and not only be able to get out of debt ourselves, but to be able to give abundantly. Even in those times, tithing and giving was super important to us. That was one of the first things that that was way above any allowance that I was allowed for myself. So, like financially, that's what our landscape looked like. We were very diligent, and on that track, but had very little freedom, like going away for a fun weekend or going for a spa day together. Those things never happened. I mean, I was lucky to get my pedicure once a year. That's what life looked like. And then with my daughter, that was kind of pre-Plexus. That was a really long answer to your
No, that's what we want, because I want our audience to hear a fully painted picture of what life was like, where the struggles were. Some people did not have those struggles. And so everybody's journey is different. And that's the beauty of that first question, is that we get to kind of lay the landwork of where you were prior to where you are now. But how did you get introduced to Plexus?
Yes. Okay. So Pepper had just turned 1, and I was still I was in a mindset that I was trying to lose that last bit of baby weight. I had put on a ton of weight with her, and I was still holding on to about 20 pounds. So I wasn't thinking, even though we were in this place, we weren't destitute financially, but we had no room for freedoms. We were going to be working till we were 60. At retirement. And so, even though that's where we were, I guess I wasn't thinking there's anything that I could do financially from home that would move the needle like it has. I thought, if there's something I could do from home just so I didn't have to send my baby to daycare, that would be awesome. But network marketing was not on my radar, because I'd always been like, I'm never going to be that girl. So when I saw Plexus, I was not interested in the business aspect, but I was interested in the products. I could see that it was a healthy way to lose weight. So my friend Erin Harrison was posting about Plexus on Facebook, and she's a friend from my hometown in Shawnee, Oklahoma. And so I knew her family. I knew that they were of strong character. So I thought she wouldn't be peddling something that was not that was harmful, and I could see the health benefits. So I was interested in the products. She encouraged me to go ahead and sign up as an ambassador to get the cheapest price. And my biggest question was her too. If I decide to do any of this, because I knew I needed to make enough to cover my cost of my products, because Dave Ramsey doesn't allow for Plexus products when you're on that type of a budget. So my husband gave me 2 months. He said, then you need to cover the cost of them. So I knew I would have to bring in that income. So okay. But my biggest question to Erin was, do I have to host parties? Because I did not want to be schlepping of evenings, working all day and then doing parties in the evening, calling up my friends, begging them to host a party for me. I mean, that was just that was my boundary. I was not going to do that. And she said, no, we're not a party-driven company. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll see what happens. If I like the products, then maybe I can make that money back to cover the cost of them. So that was it. I saw it on Facebook, watched her for about 4 weeks before I reached out, and reached out in early May. We went back and forth for a few weeks. My grandmother passed away that May. So when I got back from her funeral, I was not in the mindset of thinking Plexus, but I got back from her funeral and was just ready and to make a change, and went for it at the end of May 2012.
So when you say at the end of May, is that when you signed up to be an ambassador? Was at the end of May?
Yeah, it was May 23rd, and right before Memorial Weekend. So I got the products kind of the end of May, started taking them the end of May. And it wasn't until, I was talking to my mom and my sister-in-laws, and a couple close friends before I even fell in love with the products, just telling them kind of what I'm doing, and I'm excited about it. But when I fell in love with the products mid-June, it was mid-June is when I made my first Plexus post. So I wouldn't say that I started working any business until June, but I joined in May.
So awesome. So you start working in June. So walk us through your business journey, because I know it has been a journey. It wasn't like it was an immediate explosion. So walk us through what that looked like.
Well, we have that phrase, the crazy plexus lady. And I was really the first in my network, other than my sponsor, Erin, and we had very little crossover in network. She was quite a bit older than me and went to different colleges, just really a family friend from 20-something years ago. So I was really the first in my network to be posting about plexus. And you have to also remember that people weren't posting much direct sales stuff back then. And I mean, this was like 5 years ago. It wasn't like it is now. So we didn't have social media training. We didn't have YouTube videos. We didn't have any of that. So I just was kind of like, just trial by error, but I put it out on Facebook knowing that I saw it on Facebook. So that's the easiest way for me to get some customers. And I wasn't even thinking build a team at this point. I was just thinking customers. I was after that 25%, make enough to cover my products. So my mindset shifted to building a business and building a team after I got my first paycheck in July. So my first paycheck was just under about $500 in July for just posting on Facebook, getting, a handful of customers. And then I was like, Cody and my husband and I both were like, wow, like this could be it. I was after $1,000 a month to supplement my income so I could stay home. And I hit almost half that my first month. We were really like, there's something to this. And we were all in. So then I was all in, but I was still mostly focused on customers, and I didn't understand the team building aspect quite yet. But I did kind of start maybe a couple months in signing people up as ambassadors. And most of the people that I was signing up as ambassadors said, yeah, I want to work the business, whether they really did or not. They didn't. I had a couple people that did, and they're still with me, and they're building their business still. But I was mostly after customers, and after that 25%, which was huge. And I had so many preferred customers. Rainey, yes. Rainey was a part of that early on. And so I was just like that $1,000 a month. And I think I said this in my Diamond documentary, that if it was still $1,000 a month and we were still in that duplex making it work for $1,000 a month, my husband was still working, I would still be grateful, incredibly grateful and delighted with this business, because that was my original why. And if it was meeting that, I would be happy with that. But it's been so much more. So then I went through that phase where I decided, okay, now I'm really building a team. And once I got a couple people that wanted to work the business, and I was like, okay, this isn't so scary. I can, I'm like, we're learning as we go. We got this. And it was also because no one else that I knew was posting on Facebook about plexus. It was this crazy plexus lady. I don't know if you guys have seen that YouTube video where there's this, it's like at a Woodstock type environment, and this person's like doing this crazy dance all by themselves, and everyone's just kind of like sitting back, what's happening here? And this person's just like doing this, like crazy dance. And then just one person came up and joined them, and they're doing this dance together. And then another person. And then the next thing you know, like everybody is up there dancing, and the only people that aren't dancing, they're the ones that look like weirdos because they're not dancing. And that's what I liken when I started getting momentum. And I had Heather Burke and Celeste join within like 3 months of each other, and they both had momentum fairly quickly. So I had two really strong legs and crazy momentum. That's part of your team. Many of you that are probably already watching. Rainey joined very quickly, and she had momentum too. And so this was all happening about 9 months in to my journey. After that was doing the crazy dance all by myself. And then it was like people were joining me, and then it was like, wow, I'm not really the crazy one. I'm like, you're crazy for not jumping in. You're crazy for not jumping in. We're having a blast. And that's to paint you a picture of what it looked like for me. And then that spring, Celeste joined in March, Heather Burke, New Year's Eve before that. Tara Penny she's a sapphire on my team. She had joined in the fall, but she had hid me from her news feed because I was the crazy plexus lady. Came back in like June, and decided to work the business. So then she hit, and she had fast momentum too. So I had all this happening in this, everybody dancing together, and it was fun and beautiful and crazy. And then I found myself in a place where I was like, oh wait, I have like hundreds and thousands of people on my team, and I have to lead them. And then it was a catch-up sort of season in my business where I was like, oh, John Maxwell? Who's that? Oh, yeah. Leader? Oh, yeah, I should probably start learning about how to be a leader now. And I had to play catch-up. So a quick little tidbit for you. If you do not have this massive team and you want a massive team and you are working towards a massive team, do not wait to pour into yourself as a leader. Don't wait till you get there, because then you're playing catch up and it's a lot harder that way. Start now developing yourself as a leader, and it will help you all throughout your journey. It'll help you now. It'll help you later if you make that a priority right now. So then crazy momentum. And then there's also a thing that's a major trap that I fell into, and I've gone back and forth through valleys, peaks and valleys of my business, is mode. I'm not doing my own income producing activity. I'm surviving, and my business, I'm in a place that I could take 3 months off to have a baby last February, March, April, and actually promoted on my second position because I had put in a lot of work early on, but if you go into management mode too early at all, it will, no matter if you have the luxury like me or Celeste to do that for a season and you're okay, that's awesome. But you may not be in a place where you have the luxury yet to sit back, take a step back from your business, whether you have a baby or personal things happening. You may not be able to take that much of a break or to shift into management mode for a season, because your business, whether or not you're at a place where Celeste Gwynn is, or Rainey, or Sonia Duff, whoever you're comparing yourself to, you may not have that luxury to go into that management mode. Your business will take a hit, like my business took a hit. I'm not asking anyone to get their violin out for me. I'm just saying you're either in a place that you can afford to take a little break, go into management mode, and take a hit personally for your business growing, or you can't. And so just be careful of that management mode trap and taking too long of a break for whatever reason, because that consistent IPA for your own business is so key. So then there'd be a season of my business where I've been like, okay, it's time to get back to work. My business has suffered. I just had a baby. I got to get back to work. And then you get back to work, and guess what? When you go back into activity, makes the difference. That is what moves the needle. So Sarah Robbins says, activity is the cure to what ails your business. And so whether, there are seasons of your business, but if you will stay consistent in activity, your seasons won't be so high and low that's going to derail you or to stop you in your business. So consistent activity is so important. I
love that.
Okay, so I'm driving my Plexus journey.
This is fabulous. No, I love it. So, and here's the thing. I like that place right there, because, we always talk about being consistent, and here you all are hearing it once again. The cure to any ailment in your business is to get into activity. And if you can consistently stay there, I mean, this is worth repeating. If you can consistently stay there, then you won't have those, you know, peaks and valleys. You know, you'll stay here, which this is what keeps your business going, this middle ground. So we talked about peaks and valleys. Oh wait, before we get there, so real quick, so how long did it take you to get to Emerald? How long to Sapphire, and how long to Diamond?
Okay. I went Emerald in my 13th full month. So July of 2013. Mm-hmm. I started working the business in June of 2012, joined into May. I went Emerald July of 2013, but I went Sapphire and Diamond in August of 2013. Remember, 3 legs in like crazy momentum, with one of those legs being Celeste. So I had kind of this perfect storm going on, and I had missed Emerald in June by 40 points. Like I had Holton, my son was born in May. So I had a newborn. I don't even think I knew I would be that close. I probably would have pushed for Emerald if I knew I was 40 points away, going to be 40 points away. I didn't know how close I would be. And then I hit Emerald early in the month. I almost hit Sapphire in July. So then when August hit, I double ranked Sapphire and Diamond. It was an incredible, crazy time of momentum. And it just happened to be that perfect storm for me of having the right people on my team at the right time. And they were all growing really fast.
And it was such a pleasure, you know, it still is. It's a pleasure to be a part of that. I mean, I remember it like it was yesterday, and what fun it was seeing, you know, you turn Emerald. And, you know, quick story, and I'm sure by this point you've heard it, and I probably even shared it with you. I was one of those customers that Celeste referred to Jenn Hawkins, and, you know, this team knows this about me. I'm not a researcher. I just saw my friends looking better, feeling better. I wanted in on it. I didn't even ask Jen anything about Plexus. I thought literally this was a family business of yours, that your grandpa stirring up Plexus slim powder in the basement. You know, like I didn't care. Like it was just good stuff. And I'm like, I'm supporting this family in Colorado. You know, their family business, Plexus. I had no idea. Like, you know, I referred my sister to Jen. I mean, I had a handful of people that I also was referring to Jen. And so it's kind of the whole what we would have known. And it's funny that you say that your journey very much started out being focused on customers. That's how my journey was. I thought personally, although I had joined in April, so from October to basically February-ish, I was a customer. And then I stopped because finances changed for us. And I just, again, didn't know that there was an opportunity to make money there. So I just stopped the products altogether. And then 2 months later, found out it was a business opportunity and joined at that moment for the business side of it. But in my mind, I had to get customers.
Yeah. Well, and you've heard me tell this story from my perspective too, Rainey, that when you were my customer for all that time, that's a lesson I learned, because I was not presenting the business opportunity. I didn't really understand we didn't have Zoom calls and videos of people telling me, you have a gold mine right in front of your hands and you're not offering it to people. And I didn't understand all that. And what I prejudged all, like Celeste. I mean, Celeste was already a stay-at-home mom. You know, she was in this network where all her friends were stay-at-home moms and send their kids to private school. So in my mind, I prejudged, yeah, they don't need this business. They don't need it. I mean, it'd be fun. And I kept telling Celeste, hey, it could be your link. You should do this with me. But I knew she didn't need the money.
Yeah.
So I had assumed Rainey didn't need the business, didn't need the finances. So I never talked to her. I never said, you know, you should join me on this. There's an opportunity here for you to make extra money. Would you want to talk about it and see if this could be a fit for you? I never did that. You know, and I learned that lesson by making that mistake, but learn from our mistakes, because I didn't have anyone telling me, this is a mistake I made. This is what you need to do. Like I'm telling you, this is a mistake I made. This is what you need to do. So don't prejudge people that they don't need what you have to offer in the business. Cause Rainey is my level 2, and it worked out the way it was supposed to be. But, maybe if I would have approached Rainey and said, hey, Rainey's joining my team, Celeste, do you want her on your team or do you want her to be on my team? You know, she would have been like, oh, whoa, don't say my friend, you know, like I want in. And then Celeste may have joined months earlier had I approached Rainey. So just don't ever assume that people wouldn't want this or need this. You don't know what's happening behind the scenes in their life. Even if you do know them, and they may not be telling you everything that they have going on. So,
well, and I can just, absolutely back that statement up, because I know that not many people knew what was going on in my life. In fact, Celeste was one of the first people I told, because, I saw her post on Plexus and I said, okay, I got to find out more about this Plexus, and is this legit, and is this a season, or could this actually be a career? So, and I'm so grateful I did. It's not a decision I've ever regretted. So we talked about peaks and valleys. So during those valleys, how do you stay motivated?
You know what? I mean, it's cheesy, but you have to go back to your why. And for me, like, I'm in a different place because in many ways I've achieved that original why. I mean, the Lord has blown away my wildest dreams with this business. I am a stay-at-home mom. My husband is a stay-at-home dad now. We work the business together. We have all sorts of freedoms through this business. But now that's why I've got 10 level 1s that I'm like, you know what? They want it. I am not successful until they get where they want to be, until they have the freedoms that they're after. And so now that drives me, that like, this is, I have to help them get where they want to be. And so that really, whenever I'm like, then I think, Angie Barden, like, I can't slow down because I've got things to do. I can't take a knee on this thing because I've got friends that I love and adore that need to get where they can have these freedoms that I have as well. So, it's that revisiting my why and making sure that it's evolves and it's grown and it's emotional, that it moves me on days that like it's hard, or it's in those seasons like a back office change. You're like, I don't want to do this, but it's still worth it, and it's worth it to the people that I have counting on me to help them get there. So
absolutely. And I love how you said, it's not like your original why ever goes away. You just add to it. Yes, you've accomplished being able to be a stay-at-home mom, but as well as I have been able to continue to be, but that's still a why for me, because, I have other whys on top of that. But at the heart of all of this, it's so I can be there for that little girl, that it's never a sacrifice of, do I get to take her to school, or do I not get to take her to school? Can I make it to that party, or can I not make it to that party? And of course, there's sacrifices in everything, but this delivers more freedoms than if I had to go to a real, 8 to 5, if you're lucky, 8 to 5, job.
Yeah.
Right. So do you have a phrase of motivation that you lean on throughout your business?
I think that there's a couple that like, I feel like I say to my team a lot, whenever we do coaching calls or one-on-ones, or even like a first call to help them understand what they're going, what they're entering in. But one is, it's not actually mine. The first time I saw it was Lori Harrison, so I cannot take credit for it. But I love whenever I'm feeling like I'm here in Tennessee, I'm meeting new people. They don't know what Plexus is. They're kind of judgy about what I do, or network marketing, or stick their nose down, like she's one of those girls. Whenever I've got people opposing me or what I do, I go back to that. I know what I bring to the table, so I'm not afraid to eat alone. Like, I will do this. I will dance. I will do that crazy Plexus dance for the rest of my life, because I know what I'm doing for people, and I know what it means. So that's not an obstacle for me, because I know what I'm bringing to the table. Another one is just whenever I'm talking to people about growing in their journey, and if I'm doing a coaching call, what I'm hearing is a lot of them just talking about being so focused on themselves or their business or their rank. I'm like, okay, you have to turn the mirror outward. You have to look at others. And I'd say, if you will focus, just your goal is to help as many people as you can, your rank will take care of itself. If you help people make that extra $500 a month that is going to save them from major financial stress or marital stress, because every dollar matters. If you will help them get that, that's one more way you're getting where you want to be in their rank. If you help people with their health, that's going to be a ripple effect. If you help someone get relief from migraines, guess what? That's going to cause a ripple effect that's going to change your business. But if you do it for the joy of helping others and focus on them, then your rank takes care of itself. So those are kind of two that I I'm double diamond. Like, I get double diamond. I'm like, no, it's not about me and my rank. It's about them and how many people can I get to and help with these products and this opportunity. So I say it to myself, and I say those two things a lot to my team.
I love that. That's so profound. And I love I know what I bring to the table, so therefore I'm not afraid to eat alone. I may have to borrow that one as well. We'll duplicate it, right? I always tell people, like, I'm going to have to steal that. I'm like, no, you're just duplicating it.
Yes.
Chances are I did the same thing. So, okay, so let's talk about some business tips. What are a few business tips that you have for this group?
Well, I'll go back to that consistent IPA, that it doesn't, you don't have to spend an hour doing income producing activity. If you can just consistently do 10 to 15 minutes of consistent, or reach out to 2 to 3 people a day consistently, that's going to make the difference in your business, and keep the needle moving in the right direction. Another one is mindset and personal growth. This is, I've just learned through this entire journey that your mindset is key, that you've got to change your mindset. And whenever I've been talking to some of my team members, the ones who are growing and changing are the ones that are addressing their mindset. So if you aren't addressing your mindset through personal growth and development, you have to make that a priority. I think it's just super, super key. Then I think I already said this too, the focusing on others, with helping people. I love what Heather Burke says. Heather's one of my level ones. And she says this, once I believed in myself, but didn't focus. So that's believing in yourself mindset, but didn't focus on myself. And I poured every bit I could into them. Everything changed. So there's the mindset, believing in yourself, but not focusing on yourself. And I think that what she said just really wraps that piece up, that mindset. And then building belief and staying connected to your why, like rock solid belief is going to keep you in this journey. So if you're new and you're just getting started, I don't have that belief yet. You need to spend some time building your belief. It's not like we don't have ways to build your belief. You just have to expose yourself to what the products and the opportunity are doing for people. And if you just start feeding your mind with that, your belief will be built. But you have to be building your belief and addressing your mindset, focusing on the others, and that consistent IPA that's going to move that needle in your business. So
I love that. We have a team in Ohio that's just really taking off and exploding, and watching them and just being with them and spending time with them. What I'm seeing is that they are focusing on getting every new person to silver. And it's just this gorgeous pattern of momentum. And because they're focusing on something that's relatively simple, right? Getting to silver at the end of the day, but they're showing everybody on their team to do that and then do it again and do it again. They're getting this gorgeous momentum, and I love it. And it's just focusing on something so very simple and teaching each other how to do it. So how many people roughly have you personally sponsored on your almost 5-year journey?
Well, I have got the 2 positions, and then, my husband signed up. And so we together, about 100 personals on 3 different positions. So, and I don't have a lot of, I still have white lines.
Yeah.
Lots of white lines.
So how many of those would you say are still with you today? And then how many of those would you consider, as we refer to as runners? And runners are those that are business builders.
Yeah, I would say probably half are still with me, where they are either they take their products or they're business builders, like one or the other. They have small teams, at least half. And I would say about 20 are actively working on building a business, 20 of the 50.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
So a couple last questions for you. What is a lesson that you've learned on your journey to Diamond, and then of course to Sapphire as well? Because I don't know that we mentioned this in the beginning, but Jen is not only a Diamond with her company, but she's also Sapphire on her 2nd position. You've shared so much wisdom, but is there something else that just pops out in regards to a lesson learned?
Yes. And this lesson has actually probably come to me in the past, I would say 2 years, maybe. Most recently, it's been so in my face in the last year. Is John Maxwell says this: the secret of success is found in your daily activity, in your daily routine. And I have lived all aspects of this pendulum. If over here you have a really strong routine and daily method of operation, I have lived here, and I've lived everywhere in between, and I've lived the opposite end of the spectrum, which is sucking air, surviving like crazy chaos. And in the last 8 months, this is where I have lived, because of moving across country, building a house, losing my nanny, personal assistant, a domestic helper. So I have a new baby in February. She just turned 1. So it's been a crazy 8 months. So I've lived here, and I've lived it everywhere in between. And I can tell you how critical it is to be on this side. That it's no joke that John Maxwell says the secret of success is found in your daily activity, in your daily routine. And, I've got boxes all around me. And so I'm still kind of living over here, but I know that I'm about to do the full pendulum switch, back over here, where I'm going to have my routine back. I'm going to have my DMO back. When I live here, my business thrives. My level 1s get what they need from me. I'm effective. I'm efficient. There's harmony in my family when I live here. When I live here, it makes everything more difficult, and the business suffers everything. So I'm not saying you have to have the kind of life I have, where stay-at-home husband, I have help with my kids, help with my house. You don't have to have all of that. I'm saying that what you look at your life, what does your day look like? Where can you make a priority for your daily routine for that DMO to create the habits that are going to lead you to success. So I started this business with a full-time job. And when I worked my business was after I put her to bed, and I gave up TV, still have given up. I mean, I just haven't missed it. You know, I'm going to come back and watch some with my husband because that's what he likes for us to do together. But it's not a priority for me like it used to be. I want to work, you know, so I gave up that time, and I worked a little bit during my lunch hour, you know, for my Plexus business. So I did the nooks and crannies, but I also set aside time to be very, very intentional, working my business, reaching out to people, connecting with my customers, helping them with their products, being that customer service. And you guys, if you have a lot of wholesale ambassadors, please treat them like customers. You cannot sign them up as a wholesale ambassador and just think that, oh, they're signed up. When they get success on the products, maybe they'll want to work the business. No, you have to put them in the bucket of a customer and treat them as you are their personal Plexus coach. And your goal for them is to get them to fall in love with Plexus products, to get them to get rid of their migraines, whatever ailment they're after that got them to be a wholesale customer. You cannot forget them. That was just a total side note.
That's good.
But what I'm saying is I'm in a place in my life where I know I'm incredibly blessed to have the help that I have, and I can design my entire business around my family the way I want. You know, my DMO, here's my workout. I know that I'm incredibly blessed. And I know you're sitting thinking, well, I have a full-time job and 4 kids, and how am I going to do this? I'm a single mom. But you look at your day and work in the nooks and crannies, turn your car into a rolling university, but find that 30, 45 minutes, an hour. Find whatever time that you can carve out to daily routine, and set it and get into that routine. That's the biggest thing that I've learned, being like in almost 5 years. I started here, and that's whenever I was started to really grow a business. Things got crazy, life, new babies, and I've been, and this is where the magic happens, right here.
Yep. And I love that wisdom, because you have lived on, like you said, on this end of it, being a full-time employed, person. So it's all about I'm going to just be blunt. It's all about not letting the excuses get in the way, because, we all have time to do what we need to do. It's just a matter of, are you going to make the time to do it? Just simply that way. That might be a little stinger, but I promise you it's the truth. Yeah. And then one last question for you, sweet friend. Mm-hmm. Talk to us about some of your fun splurges you've been able to do since having the financial change and becoming a diamond. You've shared some of them with us. We know that you're in a beautiful brand new house that you've relocated, across the country. And that can be some of them. I may have just answered it for you. What a bad interviewer. But what are some things that you've done?
Yeah. I love this question. Well, the first thing that I did when I became a diamond, I was actually pregnant with, no, it wasn't a diamond yet. Let's see. I was pregnant with Holton. I must have been about senior ruby, and we got a cleaning lady, and it was like, oh my gosh. That was the first splurge we did, was getting a cleaning lady, and this house. I mean, that's the biggest splurge. The other total superficial splurge Randy and I talk about are the lashes. I love I don't get my nails done. I can. It's more about the time that it takes to go to a nail appointment than it is about, it's not about I can afford to have my nails done and lashes, but it's more about the time that I choose to not spend my time that way. My toes aren't done. I'm going to Mexico next week, so I actually probably will, but it's special occasions. But these lashes, I don't feel like a ragamuffin every single day. And it's like one of those little guilty pleasure splurges on myself that I never, like, there's no way in a million years my husband would have let me get lashes without this Plexus business thriving. I can promise you. And, you know, like, talking to my husband out there, like, he wants to get one of those kind of mules to go around our property. But we're also, like, to the point, don't judge me, you guys. Please don't judge me. I'm going minivan. I need a car that I can easily get my kiddos in and out on their own. I mean, like, it's like the most practical thing. So I'm like, okay, Cody, all right, first we're getting a minivan, and then we're getting your thing to go around the property. So being able to do things like that without stress or worry, to be able to pay cash for these things and not go, you know, into debt to meet some needs. But those are things that we've done for ourselves. But I will say, what brings me way more joy than being able to have even lashes or getting a minivan when I have this beautiful Lexus still, I mean, is the way we're able to abundantly give elsewhere and meet needs in our community and with causes that are near and dear to our hearts. I mean, that's way more important to us that we've been able to do that. But it is fun to do both. So
I love that.
I hope that
it. I think you froze up on me. There.
Oh no!
You're back. We got it back. Yay! I mean, it could have been just perfect timing. I was like, well, I can wrap it up from there because we got through the last question, but everything was perfect, and you
okay.
Amazing, and you imparted such wisdom, and I know that, you know, this team is going to walk away feeling better, being able to apply some things to their business right away. And I'm grateful that you took some time out today and shared it with us. And I cherish you. I adore you. And I'm grateful for you. And I love you.
I love you too. Yeah. Y'all, I'm so thankful to be on. Hi to all of you. I know it's a recording, but hi. Have a great day. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Go love on your people.
Absolutely. Bye, y'all.